All right, welcome back. We're going to be talking about two quite large battles of World War One, playing a significant role in the outcome. But before I get that, I want to thank y'all that have sent me song requests, like things that I should be listening to, because I've been going through it. I've been listening to a lot of them. Some of y'all gave me like 15 things, and some of y'all gave me just one, and I appreciate it. I've even listened to the that mumble rap that y'all send me, so I've been trying. I'm the one person that sent me like 15 of them. I've listened to every single song you sent me. Not saying I loved it all, but I did appreciate them. So thank y'all. Yeah, I'm not through all of them yet. The person that sent me all the punk, you know who you are, Fugazi. I haven't listened to Fugazi in a while, so I appreciate that. I listened to Royal Blood for the person that sent me that. I listened to Current Joys, so I've been listening to them. So thank you again. I needed to expand my horizons, so thank you. All right, so the Battle of Verdun. So it is easily one of the largest battles. It as a whole, it took place from like in 1916 almost the entire year. So February through December is the battle. So up until this point, usually battles aren't lasting all that long. Like especially when we're talking about like in the American Revolution, it's not like there were 10-month long battles. But this battle is a long time, and it's mostly fought between the French and Germans, and it's part of the Schlieffen plan, I believe is how you say it. Again, that's one of the tough things about German. Like I can speak it, but I'm not great at pronunciations. Um, and like I said, it's so key to determining who would win the war. If you can remember when I told you about the length of this, 1914 and then to about 1919 in total, this is like dead center in a way in between the front and back. Like it basically splits it, and it could have swung it either direction. Um, oops. So, and at the time, this is like the longest battle in the history of like the world. So, here's some maps. So you can see Verdun here. It's really on the front lines, so to speak. So, if you need to, pause the video, go to Google Maps, look at where Verdun is. But it's definitely on that line. You can see how this is the front. The red line is the front and really really important. So here's some here we go. Okay, so here's like some of the experiences of it, and we've already last week you should have, I hope, gone through, looked at the poems and the propaganda, so you can kind of see what is being sold, the propaganda, what's being sold to you, right? So when you're watching TV, right, you get some of that propaganda of marketing, right? So you're getting told, oh, you should go get this or that because of like Champion, like super famous rappers are all wearing Champion, and that's a good way to market Champion, right? Y'all are like, oh, I like them, I don't know, Lil Peep. I don't know. Maybe you like him. And so you see that, and you're like, wow, he's wearing it, and I want to do that. So that's like marketing, right? You're being sold on a product based off something that you like that resonates with you, right? How you get me to get something? You just Disney, right? You just make it Disney. It resonates with who I am. It resonates in my heart and in my soul, and I want to get it. So, but and how that relates to this is they are the propaganda, it resonates with the public because they're telling you how either horrible the Germans, the Prussians, the Austrians are, or like so you are, I don't want to be like that, so it resonates with who you are, or they're telling you how great this country is, England, France, and how you need to be to support it. So uh so you saw that, and then on the other side of the coin, you should have read all that poetry and how it actually was. So what you're being sold on versus what the actual is. Um, So the goals of this, I didn't put them in, so that's my fault. I should have put them in here. Let me just tell you, um, it it was a German idea. They wanted to strike a blow, right? Because Verdun is, and on my notes over here, basically it's a symbolic as much as it is a representative piece of the French line, right? If the Germans are able to take it and the Germans are able to keep attacking the French are essentially it's a war of attrition. And what that means is it's like death by a thousand cuts. And if you've ever like you if you think of it as that, it's if we just keep making you defend it and you keep losing, keep having casualties, you keep having death, and you keep having to supply it, eventually you're just not going to be able to do it, right? So one cut won't hurt you, but if you have a thousand cuts, eventually you're going to bleed out. It's attrition. um it's the same thing when y'all have in PE, right? You can run once around the track. But imagine if they make you run 10 miles, so 40 laps around the track. Eventually, that last lap is significantly more difficult than the first one because you've had to do it so many times. Okay, that's kind of that mentality I want y'all to understand. And so, knowing that, it's the opportunity of the Germans to strike that last blow to the French. Okay, so you can obviously see a significant amount of this 306,000. That is larger than the population of Spokane, the second largest city in our state. The second largest city in our state. More than that, okay? Um, it would lean, it was split kind of, it wasn't split exactly 50-50, but it was definitely, I want to move my head up here because I keep like looking down, like, am I saying it right? But it wasn't like, it was probably 60-40 in terms of more French than German, okay? And at least 500,000 are going to be wounded. Um, so when I should also preface, if you think of casualty, don't think of dead. So when you go, oh, 10,000 casualties, don't be like, oh, 10,000 people died. No, it's like casualties are going to be death or injured. So you can be a casualty of war without dying. Um, that being said, the French held, right. They did not lose like the Germans were anticipating or hoping, and it is a very strategic victory. Um, and by like victory, even though it says stalemate, like you're wait stalemate. That doesn't mean victory, but because the Germans launched that offensive, they were like, "Let's do this. Let's take Verdun." They didn't. It would basically, even though it's a stalemate, nothing changes because they were defending it. It's kind of a win for France. Um, yo, I have had the the good fortune of being able to visit some of these sites for World War I and World War II, and you can still see how scarred the land is from war. There is still like holes in the countryside where shells, artillery shells, have destroyed it. Trench lines still exist. You can go online and see it, like see current day versus back in the day. Um, Mine craters still exist. It's not atypical for mines to still go off. Um, what Because you can't find them all, right? You can put mines there, you can and shells, but sometimes they don't go off, so they're just sitting there dormant, almost like a volcano in a way. So this is still the land is still pretty messed up over there. And then there's a war memorial for over 130,000 people that were well soldiers that were killed there. So that's a really brief overview of Verdun and the Battle of Verdun, but I hope you understand the significance of it in terms of the length, right? At least 10, right around 10 months. The amount of people that died, the amount of soldiers, so 300,000. Again, that's significant, very very significant in terms of just straight numbers. And then the overall effect, the lack of the Germans' ability to take over that really swung it in terms of really swung that pendulum back to France being a victory for them. Okay, so here we go, the Battle of Somme. So again, shorter in terms of duration. Also in 1916. So 1916 is a pretty big year, um, and it is incredibly costly. So you saw, 300,000. This is 1.2 million casualties. So significantly more casualties in a lot shorter amount of time. And of these 1.2, about a half million Germans, about 400,000 French, British, about 200,000. That doesn't add up, does it? About 450,000, 250,000, I believe, give or take. Okay, so I don't have like exact numbers on that, but I would say at least half mil Germans, at least 400,000 British, at least 200,000 French, minimum going that way. So here you go. So you can kind of see, I hope you kind of see, it's a little difficult, but we're looking at the line here, and the goal Brit of the British is to push Germans back because this is a strategic spot in terms of the soldiers that are defending it and the significance of just the geographical position. I will have like a short documentary on it for you that's on YouTube that you can easily access. You can check it out. It's on Tuesday's Work. I will link it. Oh, it's already linked to my website. Y'all know how to get there. Psh, I don't need to worry about that. But let me get to this. Okay, so this is a lot of text. I know. I try not to put a ton of text on my PowerPoint slides because let's be honest here. When I was a student, like if you put too much text on a slide, I ain't gonna read it. I'm just being honest with you. Sorry, there's a fan on and it's really warm. So this is an attempt. This is a British attempt to break through German lines. So the other one is a German attempt to break through the French lines. This is the British attempt to break through the Prussians' German line, right? It is fought along the Western Front and the very northwest side of it. So, like the Somme River is like up near Belgium and whatnot. And this is significant because it's a small gain in terms of land for England. Like, I believe it's somewhere around 10 miles. So, again, going back to this slide, 1.2 million casualties for about 10 miles of land. That is ridiculous. But the key right here is this last one. It overall it really weakened the German war effort because of the amount of people that they had to defend and the fact that they weren't able to successfully defend it. So think of it like you're putting all your people out to try to defend a certain line, and then it gets broken through. So not only do you lose a heavily defended area, you lose a lot of people, a lot of supplies to defend it that you were unsuccessful for. So it's definitely as much as it is negative in terms of like what you lose. It's also a mental thing, right? Like you just put all that effort into defending something and holding on to it, only to be unsuccessful. Not good. Not good. Not good at all. Okay, so this is huge. Oh, I gotta move my head again. Okay, so and we've I think oh wow. I didn't even realize it was such a short video today. Wow. Okay, so this is a huge death toll, and I already talked about the technologies of it. Machine guns, artillery, gas, airplanes, tanks, submarines. Like so, these are huge because unfortunately technology's got to the point where it's really like people got really good at figuring out easy and efficient ways to kill people, and that's really sucks for me to have to like say that because like it's unfortunate that that's where the all the technology went to, but everything was more efficient. Okay, back in the 1700s, right, where you had to load a musket and it wasn't very accurate, and you kind of like stood in a queue and shot at each other, but you're like weren't sure if you're going to hit them because it was super inaccurate. These are not inaccurate, and it is you can fire out tens of hundreds of rounds a minute with machine guns. Uh, Artillery is has a large area of effect. Gas is massively it kills indiscriminatory. Like it doesn't matter if you're the one that fired it or not. It kind of just kills wherever it goes. Tanks are massive, and I know that I said airplanes. They become more important as in World War II. I would, in my opinion, they would become more important because technology advances, and this is still like the very infancy, but they do play a role. And then definitely submarines play a role. We'll get to that when America enters the war, because right now America's still like chilling over on the other side of the pond, like, all right, we ain't on the front. So that's kind of it for this. I really just wanted you to just two really important battles. I wanted you to understand them. I'm not going to ask you day by day what happens. I won't do that. That's to me, that's not relevant enough to what. If you're really interested in it, go for it when you go to college or whatnot, or if you want to read on it, you can ask me. I can get you some stuff on it. But I just wanted you to kind of see the impact, the amount, just the sheer numbers of it is astronomical. So, that being said, you do have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Y'all should be this should be streamlined for y'all now. But please let me know. Y'all are all capable of it. You will all have the ability. Please, please, please finish strong. You got this week and next week really of material, and that's it. So keep it going, keep chugging away, keep doing your thing. And if you do have anything, let me know. And with that, hey,